Good morning, everyone. Chirag here from Equity Guys. I'm an NISM certified technical analyst, and let's get into the view for the 22nd of July. So yesterday we see that there's a V-shaped recovery that happened in Nifty. It's very good because on the daily time frame we see it ended at somewhat of a hammer formation, and that caused Nifty to close 0.5% higher here, Bank Nifty to close positive, and Sensex to also close 0.5% positive. So, moving on to today, we see that Nifty is trading at a premium of 50 points compared to Nifty. I mean, Nifty futures is trading at a premium of 50 points. Bank Nifty futures is also trading at a premium of 50 points as compared to Bank Nifty, and India VIX is down 1.67%. All of this clubbed together, we see that the data is extremely bullish here, and it's on the positive side. Crude oil did fall to 57.05 levels, and making this also extremely bullish for the Indian markets here. Now coming to GIFT Nifty, we see that there is a gap up about 50 points currently with GIFT Nifty, and that is again positive for the Indian markets. So let's see if that gap up will sustain or not today. So Nifty Bs is also up almost 0.3%. Bank Bs almost up 1%. Gold Bs up 0.5%, and Silver Bs up 0.24%. Moving on to the option chain, we see Nifty Bank at around 0.83 levels, and GIFT Nifty, I mean, sorry, Nifty 50 at around 0.86 levels. So this is on the slightly on the neutral side for both of them. Moving on to the sectors, we see that there's a mix of buying and selling in sectors. Some key sectors like BankX and auto are seeing good amount of buying, whereas IT is still seeing some amount of selling here, and healthcare is also seeing some amount of selling. So it's a bit neutral on this data here because you see some buying and some selling, but a little bit more towards the buying area. But again, fairly neutral data here. Moving on to the advanced decline ratio, we see that it is also neutral at 1400 each for both advances and declines here. Moving on to the FII DII data, we see that the FIIs have started selling again in the cash market, 1600 crores here, but the DIIs are in fact doubling that with 1350 crores here, with 1350 crores buying. In the FNO market, you see that the index, there are some index futures that are being bought from the FIS, but in the stock futures, you see that there is selling of 281 crores. Overall, I would say that it is a net positive, but the FIIs are selling here, so which is going to be a little bit of a problem for the Indian market. Moving to the advanced decline ratios, you see that it is fairly neutral. Actually, on the positive side, in fact, 31 advances, 19 declines, and for Nifty Bank, you see that it is 7 advances and 5 declines. So you see major sectors again like banking and insurance on the higher side, but you have other major sectors like IT and even real estate that are on the neutral side here. Moving to the option chain here again is showing bullish in data. If you can see, in the money calls is seeing good amount of buying, whereas out of the money calls, out of the money puts, and in the money puts are seeing a good amount of selling. So overall the data is bullish. Couple of key levels that we need to look out for is the 2500 level, which is that we need to watch out, and the market might range between 2500 levels to 25200 to 300 levels is what we're kind of looking at in that range. So what can we look at from the global indices? So the global indices, we can see that Dow Jones was closed fairly neutral, just 0.04% negative, but S&P 500 and Nasdaq both closing almost 0.15% positive and almost 0.4% in Nasdaq. So fairly bullish data in the US markets. In the European markets, we see that again closing 0.5% positive in DAX, closing 0.23% positive in FTSE, and CAC closing 0.31% negative. So fairly neutral data over in the European segment, with one segment positive, one segment negative, and one segment exactly neutral. And finally, moving on to the Asian markets, you see Nikkei is open today. We have it's up 0.17% to 0.2%, and we see that Kospi is down 0.42%, whereas Hang Seng is up 0.14% here. In Indian areas, we see that there is quite a bit of neutral data, but we do see buying in ICICI Bank, but selling in Wipro and Infosys, where HDFC Bank is also seeing a little bit of buying. So there is quite a neutral data here in areas, especially for Indian stocks. Coming to the futures segment, we see that futures is extremely positive for US here, all being up in the ranges of 0.06% all the way up to almost 0.2% for US futures. So, what can we expect today? So, looking at the daily time frame and looking at how the Fibonacci retracements is going, we do see an Elliot wave that is being formed on the third leg for the day time frame. There could be a possibility that we see it go back up from the 0.618 levels here, or there could be a possibility that this final leg completes all the way down to the 7.1 levels, 0.71 Fibonacci levels, all the way down to the the lower golden ratio levels, and then take a move back up from the market. So overall, what we can see is it could turn up from the golden ratio here, or it could actually even come down a little bit more. If it did have to come down a little bit more, it would take supports at around that 24,700 region, right? And then it would move back up to finally complete this fifth leg of the Elliott wave, is what the view is. But again, please guys, trade your setups, because that is the most important thing. But some of the key levels that we can also look at in the market are the R1, S1, R2, S2 levels. We see that R1 is trading at 25,100 levels again, and S2 is trading at 24,800 levels again here. So these two are key support, key resistances, and the 15-minute time frame is also going to be very important here. Any candle closing above or below the 15-minute high or low is going to be very important. If it closes above the 15-minute high, you can definitely see a huge rally from there on the upside, potentially going all the way up to the all-time high too, as in not today but over the coming weeks, because that will be a very strong indicator there. But closing below the 15-minute candle is going to be not so positive. Going back down to this lower golden ratio could be the target there if it closes there, and moving down is what we are going to expect. So again guys, hope you guys enjoyed the view. Please trade your setup. Hope everything is going positive in your trading journey. Thank you guys. See you guys tomorrow for the next video.